We could go on a double date.
Yeah, sure.
That would be fun.
Yeah. And anyway, so like so for instance, I asked her if she liked to dance, and she said she did. And I'm not a dancer. I'm not somebody who does that, and certainly not well. And that hasn't changed. But I asked her to dance, and it was great music. Dario from Stinkweeds
was DJing.
He was DJing.
Cool.
Yeah, so it was really great tunes. And,
I was just gonna make a joke at you at your expense. I was like, slow dance, like in junior high. Was it Lady in Red?
No, no, because it was good music.
Oh wow, that's funny. What song was it?
There were a few things.
You danced to more than one song? This is serious.
Yeah.
Whoa. Because I was going to say, what song was it? And then follow it up with, that could be your song, but maybe you have more than one song.
Yeah. And we because of the whole, it was a great reception, and it was at the Phoenix Art Museum, and they had areas where you could walk around in during the reception too.
Nice.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. It was a real kind of...
It's a classy wedding.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was classy as fuck.
Nice stemware.
yeah, it was really cool. It was good food.
Oh, that's cool.
It was a lot of fun.
I'm glad you had such a good time.
So congratulations again to Amy and Michael. And
Salute.
Yeah, it was it's been kind of wild. And then I did yoga for the first time.
That's another yes and.
It was yeah.
What?
I would never go to yoga, and then I did it. Yeah.
So, because I have kind of a mental block when it comes to yoga. So,
Sure.
What was holding you back in the past?
I think maybe the fact that I'm hesitant to get into any sort of mystical or religious based kind of thing.
That's the same issue I have. And if it feels
there was
contrived
definitely
at all,
a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But I didn't really focus on that. I focused just mostly on the movements that we were doing. And then it was this gong meditation thing. So,
where did you do it?
I forget the name of the
Phoenix
place.
Yoga?
No, it was in Tempe.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Don't ask me. I'm not going to pretend like I know the yoga scene because I don't really participate.
But yeah, it was another thing where I would never normally do that, and so I did it, and
you liked
it was
it.
a good experience. Yeah,
Meditation worked for you.
I think again, if I focus on the, and there's a lot about Eastern philosophy that I really dig. It's just I'm not gonna ever go like whole hog into that sort of thing. I don't. That's just not who I am as far as I don't know. I find lately that I am giving myself much more to the idea of, things that are just unexplained and kind of mysterious, and just kind of enjoying that.
Good. So funny coincidence, more than one.
Okay.
You took your new lady to a wedding.
I did.
Me and Chris, one of our first dates was a wedding, and it was Jake and Kelsey's.
Oh.
We did not dance. We could have danced. We probably should have danced, but we were too busy socializing and floating around the room and doing gummies, whatever. I'm watching Game of Thrones, which is a thing I never thought I would do, but he's into it, so I'm trying to get into it. The first episode was rough, because I felt barraged by, all these characters.
There's a lot of information.
Different houses. And I'm like, like I told you, I
download.
want to like this. Yeah, because it's sort of like a Russian novel. Like it's sort of like Anna Karenina. I want to figure out the families and their dynamics. But the first episode was hard because it was like TMI. And then we get into this first season, which I'm still working on, by the way.
Yeah, me
Where
too. I'm only at like episode 5 or something like
cool.
that.
So I'm just a little bit behind you. And it's kind of nice to put the pieces together and see how the storyline is developing. And I have some guesses about who the characters are that will stick around. And actually, I kind of cheated because we saw some episodes from the final season already.
Okay,
But,
I did not.
You haven't? Okay.
No.
It wasn't a spoiler, but I'm like, oh, so-and-so is not in the last... Okay, that one's going to die somehow. I have
a spoiler from the first season, and it's a big one. But beyond that, I have somehow managed to avoid
all spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm sort of like, okay, when do the dragons come in? So I'm waiting for that as well. But we were up in Prescott with my aunt and my cousins. And it was funny because we started talking Game of Thrones. And they were like, yeah, oh, we love it. So they were chatting with Chris. And then my aunt goes, you know, because Chris was asking her about specific characters. Well, what did you think of Joffrey? Or what did you think of, you know, Peter Dinklage's character? And my aunt just went blank, and she was like, you know what? I have to admit that I don't know any of their names, and I can't hear or understand a goddamn thing that they're saying, but I can't stop watching it. Then I was like, well, I got a tip. Why don't you turn the subtitles on?
That was the same tip that I got. Yeah.
It helps,
so
doesn't
this
it?
woman told me, you know, it actually helped me if I turned the subtitles on. So I did it. I'm like, oh, yeah, that was a smart choice.
Some of the dialogue is very muddy, and they got the
Yeah.
accents going on. And if you blink, you might miss something kind of important. So turn the subtitles on.
Yeah.
Good advice.
I'm digging it, though. I really like the development, and it's you know, good writing and good acting and all that. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Cool.
Yeah. And it wasn't like, I always thought I would eventually watch it at some point. It just, it was one of those, I'm like, I'm going to read the books first, and that never happened. And it's probably never going to happen. At least not with the amount of time I have available. And so then it just started to snowball into, now at this point I'm too far behind. And
some of my summer reading is the book No Impact Man by Colin Bevan, B-E-A-V-E-N. And it's funny because I tried to watch the movie that he made, and I found it to be awful. Like, I had to turn it off because it wasn't put together very well. Yeah. But I like the ethos behind this project that he did. Do you know his story? He's like, he's a self-described guilty liberal, and he decided for, I guess, a year or maybe until the end of his life, he and his family were going to have no impact. Like, you know, when you talk about carbon footprint and your impact on the planet and what you're doing. So he was going to find ways to use only like renewable resources or energy that was produced without any byproduct, and only byproduct and byproducts sound too similar, don't they? He and his family were only going to use products, like man-made things that didn't harm the environment. So that's the premise. I haven't gotten that far in the book. I just started it. But my other summer reading was rereading Handmaid's Tale, and I only realized like 40 pages in that I had read it before. Okay. I was like, oh yeah, I thought I just remembered stuff from the series, but I definitely read it before because the language was too familiar. And then I saw it was kind of fun to note the differences between the book and the show. Okay. Because there's a lot they had to do with the show in order to keep it going. So some of the characters from the book are expanded, or they're changed. They're still recognizable. They're changed just slightly so that their storylines could grow. Like June herself is... different things happen in her story in the book. The ending of the book is very ambiguous. Okay. She might have escaped or not. Huh. The final chapter is some scholars and intellects, researchers in 2025 having this conference about the Gileadian Society. They found these recorded audio tapes, and they listened to them. They're trying to piece together the story of this woman who's telling her story as a handmaid. And by now, the Gileadian Society is like completely collapsed upon itself, or it's gone through so many iterations that it's different. That's also ambiguous at the end of the book. But anyway, I was like, oh, I could see there's a lot you could do if you're a producer. Yeah. To keep this going. So, I am trying to read Infinite Jest. Okay. I've never done it before. Every time I thought about it, I'm like, no. But apparently, the people behind The Good Place were heavily influenced by David Foster Wallace, and in particular, Infinite Jest. So, really, it was suggested to read that, and so Jason started this book club for it. And I was like, all right, I guess if I'm going to read it, this would motivate me to do it. And so how far are you? I'm like 50 pages in. It's like a 900,000 page book or something like that. It doesn't get any better, sorry. But yeah, you've done it. You tackled it.
It's not that I'm not enjoying it so far. It's just like, it's a lot. And
yeah, it continues to be a lot, and it doesn't all add up. I mean, or you tell me what you think.
Yeah, I'm going to try to stick with it as long as I can, but this philosophy about reading I have had for years, which is that life is too short and I have way too many books that I haven't read yet to stay with something that I'm not enjoying.
Good.
Just to finish it.
I used to finish it, like, as a rule I'd make myself, and I'm like you now. It's not worth it. I don't do that anymore.
No. Yeah, like I said, life's too short.
Yeah.
So we'll see. If it's not that I'm not enjoying it right now, and I don't feel like I'm far enough in to really decide whether or not I want to continue with it yet.
I see.
So I'm going to give it at least through the first meeting, probably, because that's supposed to happen next month and be about like 100 pages into it. And I figure that's like a ninth of the way through. That's probably a fair shake.
You guys are going to take the rest of the year to read this damn book.
Very, very probably.
And by the end of it, you're going to need to like line up the bourbon shots and just...
Yeah, I don't know. So, anyway, so that's what I'm trying to do right now, and then, but also especially lately, I can never just stick with one thing for very long before so I have a couple of other books going, but I heard about this book on WTF the other day, because Mark Maron was saying that he wanted to recommend that people read it before he talked to the author, and it's Eve Ensler's new book, The Apology.
Cool. I love Eve Ensler. I've held her hand.
Oh, yeah?
Because I was in Vagina Monologues about 10 years ago when I was at the new school, and it was more than 10. No, it was about 10 years ago. She led a workshop with all of us ladies that were in the production, and I sat right next to her and held her hand in like a getting to know you circle. And then she turned to me and said, I apologize to you that I'm so sweaty. Menopause. Yeah, so I don't know. It's Marin was saying it was pretty eye-opening about and mind-blowing for him about toxic masculinity. Wow.
And, yeah, so
I am so proud of him that he would be able to, just open to receive a message like that.
Yeah.
Good for you, Mark Maron.
Yeah. And actually, just because I'm sure, not that he needs my boosting at all, but if I just listened to his interview with David Letterman today, and that was a really cool interview.
Yeah.
Like, if people are interested in Letterman at all, it was a pretty open kind of conversation about his life and career. A lot of things that I had no idea about. So.
I have always liked him, but I know some women that fucking hate him because of things he's done to women.
Well, and that's one of the things that he talks about a little bit too. They kind of lightly hit on it, and how he's attempting to talk about and address that. And change. So
good.
Yeah.
Change is not easy.
It is not. Nope, it's certainly not. I'd be the first to agree with that.
Yeah.
But it's good. I used to think that people just can't or don't change, and I think that a lot of the time it's that people won't change or refuse to. And
it's easy to stay in your patterns.
Yeah.
It's comfortable.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I got to a point where comfortable wasn't hacking it. So I'm like,
good for you.
I think people can. I feel very different and happier. So that's new and difficult to deal with, because I've been a miserableist my entire life. But it's very refreshing. It's a lot easier than I don't know. It's kind of easier to let things go than it is to struggle to hold on to everything.
I've had some funny let things go moments lately, and then the past comes surging up all of a sudden. I just rehomed my pet rabbit. Mm-hmm. I hope it's her forever home. But my friend Brandon, and by the way, hi, Brandon. He's a musician. He does the Wednesday night programming at the Lost Sleeve. He played last night.